Okay, start.
Okay. So thanks for having us here, and can you do like self-introduction to our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Petra Basili. I work with the Vancouver Economic Commission. I lead our work around industrial challenges primarily. That includes environmental challenges as well as real estate challenges and workforce challenges, that type of thing.
Okay, nice. So the first question is like, what mandate of the VEC?
The VEC works to position Vancouver as a great place for innovative, sustainable, and creative business. So what that means is we work both globally to help our local businesses enter new markets, and we also help the businesses that are starting up here and growing here grow their operations and become more sustainable, address social issues, as well as we help them find access to capital and mentorship and all of the things that they need to be successful.
I think you already mentioned something about like the introduction of the VEC. Like, is there any others like for the briefly introduction of VEC?
Sure, like a really short
Yeah.
version. Yeah, that's better. So the VEC helps innovative, creative, and sustainable businesses in Vancouver grow and succeed.
Okay, awesome. Like, so how does the Vancouver Upcycle Design Project initiative connect with VEC's mandate?
Great question. So when the city came out with a deconstruction bylaw a number of years ago that said that you need to deconstruct as opposed to demolish your homes, we worked with the business community to figure out how that could be implemented. And one of the biggest challenges for businesses that are looking to go zero waste or looking to deconstruct as opposed to demolish homes and also products is that there are very limited end markets for those reclaimed materials. And so the Upcycle Design Project aims to showcase what can be done with reclaimed materials and also engage designers and product developers as well as manufacturers in that process of using reclaimed materials as the input to their new products and services.
So like I've been talking about in the afternoon, in describe like the relationship with the VEC's program and the exhibition in the Museum of Vancouver.
Yeah, absolutely. Give me a second to think about it. So the Upcycle Design Project is a series of events and installations around town that can really showcase what can be done with reclaimed materials. The one that's being done with the Museum of Vancouver is particularly interesting because it's highlighting not only our urban relationship to nature, but also how we can use our natural resources more effectively by using them more than one time. And so this installation with the Museum of Vancouver has committed to using 80% or more reclaimed materials in the development of the installation and to make that their new normal. So instead of using virgin raw materials in museum installations, now using reclaimed materials.
Okay, awesome. It's for 80% is a lot. Can you just define the term of deconstruction?
Sure. So deconstruction is when you take something apart and put it back into its original elements, as opposed to demolition where you typically destroy something. And so by taking something apart and separating out the original materials, you're able to reuse those initial materials.
Okay. Also, can you define the term of circular economy?
Circular economy basically means any economic activity that's contributing to keeping materials and resources in circulation and out of the landfill or away from being wasted. So it includes things like designing for fewer offcuts or less waste. It includes salvaging materials and remanufacturing them into new products. It includes recycling as well as, I don't know. Let's cut that part.
Yeah, no worries. You can just keep going
Yeah.
if you're comfortable.
It also includes ensuring that that products have a long life cycle, so that we're not just using them once and then throwing them away.
Okay, awesome. So for now, what are some of previous projects that were done with designers with the upcycle design project?
So there's another installation that's launching this spring with the Mount Pleasant Neighborhood House, which is Vancouver's first completely upcycled parklet. So it'll be a small park that occupies a couple of parking spaces outside of the neighborhood house. We've also done a street festival with the Strathcona BIA, all dedicated to showcasing what can be done with reclaimed or upcycled materials, and a booth at the Canadian Green Building Council conference, showcasing once again all of the different things that designers have been doing with reclaimed materials.
So what do you find particularly interesting about the Wild Things project in Museum of Vancouver?
Good question. So what's really interesting about the Wild Things exhibition is that it's actually people's connection to nature that draws them into upcycling and deconstruction. Many of the startups that we're working with in Vancouver that are addressing a shift to a more circular economy, their motivation comes from their connection with nature. So because they really highly value the forests and the mountains and the oceans that we're surrounded by here, they want to ensure that we're protecting those natural resources by utilizing the ones that are already in circulation. So utilizing reclaimed wood in new construction, utilizing waste materials in new garment production, and that sort of thing.
So can you talk more about like the material in the project, in the design project?
Ooh, you might have to ask this question more to the designers and the museum, but